Not a question po, pero finally, my new vlog. Hey! Okay, this vlog is gonna be a Q&A. We'll start right away. A lot of you guys asked, kamusta na po kayo, Doc? Sana okay ka lang. Kamusta po kayo dyan? How are you? I'm doing great, I think, overall. No, I'm doing good. And I'm happy to be sitting down again and doing this vlog. Finally, it's been months since my last upload. So if you're new here, my name is Aura. I'm now a second-year family medicine resident. To elaborate, tell us about what you're doing. Di ko rin alam. So, I'm a Filipino doctor. I did all my med school and initial training in the Philippines. And then now I'm doing my residency training here in the US, and I want to specialize in family medicine. Gaano po katagal ang residency nyo? It's 3 years, a 3-year program, and now I'm on my second year. And do you need to study pa po in the US to take USMLE? Nope, I did my med schooling in the Philippines. And then, how were you able to do residency training in the US? It was an additional 2-year process for me since passing the Philippine Physician Licensure exam. I took the US Medical Licensure exams, and then I did clinical observerships, and then I applied and interviewed for a few programs, and I ended up here doing my residency now. So this is a good one. Next question, I am interested in the rotations. How similar and different with how we do it in the Philippines? Okay, so for the rotations, these were my first year or internship rotations. 2 weeks of ophthalmology, 2 weeks of ENT, and then 2 months of pediatrics, and then 3 months of family practice teaching service, which is the inpatient family medicine, and then a month of behavioral health or psychiatry, and then 1 month of orthopedics or sports medicine, and then 1 more month of emergency medicine, 1 month of surgery, general surgery, and 2 months in obstetrics or labor and delivery. Will you be able to participate in any surgery soon? As family medicine, we're very non-surgical, so no, not a lot of surgeries. Thank God, because as you guys know, I'm not really super excited about surgeries. That's why I did family medicine. And then, will you also be assigned in the ER? Yes. I actually really like my ER rotation. It's a good place to do procedures. It's a good place to really see the patients first without the additional labs and imaging, just their history and physical exam, and then decide the first things that you have to do for them. So, favorite na naging rotation niyo po? My favorite would have to be OB for sure. So OB is such a fun floor to be in. That's actually one of the main reasons why I went to the US, because I want to make sure that I am trained to do normal, low risk deliveries. And I'm glad that my program is very heavy with OB training. We have a lot of family med docs who practice OB still. Yeah, and in the OB floors, I never feel like I'm alone. Whenever I don't know what to do, especially during my first months, I just ask the nurses. And the nurses they are such strong advocates for their patients. So they really know what to do. And just that general happy feeling of being in the hospital wherein you're not really sick. You're just there to welcome a new member of the family. It's always a happy time. So anyway, moving on with the rotations. These are the second year rotations. We'll still do 4 months of inpatient, 2 months of OB, and then at least 3 months, I think, of electives. So for this year, the electives that I chose were ultrasound. I want to learn how to do the point of care ultrasound, the butterfly, the handheld ultrasound. I'm happy because in our program, there's a big focus on learning how to use this ultrasound. It might eventually replace the stethoscope, they said, but who knows. And then infectious disease, because we have a really good ID doc in the hospital. I need to learn my antibiotics. And then derm, just because I really like derm as well. And then we get to do emergency med again, and then radiology. We rotate in the nursing home, and then cardiology and critical care or ICU. And then finally, for the third year rotations, I don't have my schedule for third year yet, but for third year, that's when you become the chief resident. All of us in our class rotate as the chief resident for 6 weeks, so there's no one single chief res for the whole year. So we all get a chance to become chief res. And then the other electives that we can do, some of them are neurology, sports med, geriatrics, gynecology or women's health, NICU, the base, and then rural medicine. I know that there are a lot of other options. I will still look into it. I am interested in potentially doing, if I can, I'm not sure if we have it in our program or I can make it happen, but potentially I want to do maybe a lifestyle medicine rotation or LGBT rotation, HIV medicine. So those are the other electives that are available for family medicine. So those are my rotations. It will give you a good idea on the family medicine training that we get. It's really, really full spectrum. So that's why I'm glad I chose this specialty. Next, can you explain the family med in the hospital and in the clinics? Yeah, so I think in the Philippines, most of the time, the family med docs are just outpatient. They don't follow you anymore if ever you have to get admitted to the hospital. Either the internist or the pediatrician or the hospitalist will take care of you whenever you have to get admitted. But in the US, at least in my hospital or in our state, in our region, I think in the US in general, family med docs can choose to continue to follow you when you're in the hospital. So we also act as hospitalists. And then for us, we still do 24 to 28-hour shifts when we're on call. So it could be a very benign duty wherein, the admissions are quite manageable and they're not back to back to back to back. But yeah, sometimes it can get very, very busy in the hospital. We're always on our feet. We don't get to sleep much. We always have to answer these pages. Some of them are very urgent. Some of them are just like, what? We take care of everything. So at least in our program, they really want us to learn how to manage arrhythmia, chest pain, diabetic ketoacidosis, fluid electrolyte imbalance, alcohol withdrawal, COVID, a lot of COVID, fractures, pyelonephritis, UTI, sepsis, strokes, everything. Oh gosh, anything goes in the hospital. I think it's worth it to do a whole vlog on my inpatient hospital experience just because it's the most fruitful rotation, most toxic, busiest, but most fulfilling rotation. Okay, so in the clinic, it's a bit more chill. I mean, you can get really, really busy in clinic as well, but as you can see, I try not to wear my scrubs in the clinic unless I'm also on call that night. And then on the left here is my cubicle. So I have my own computer, my own little nook there. And then this is how a patient room looks like. I'll probably do another vlog as well for my outpatient experience. Ayan na naman tayo. Puro pangako. I'll probably do this, I'll probably do that. Tas wala pa rin, sorry. Moving on, next question. A lot of you are curious as well about how our duty hours are. Like, how much do we work as residents in a week? Is it super busy, super toxic compared to the Philippines? So my answer would be it depends on your rotation. Like I said, inpatient medicine, the teaching service is the most demanding. So yeah, the rule is you don't exceed 80 hours in a week. And for our program, we do 28-hour shifts and then go home right after. And then if you average that, it should be less than 80 hours per week that you work. And then when you're not on call or when you're doing the lighter rotations, it would be 40 hours per week. Anything between 40 to 80 hours per week, I can say that it's definitely more manageable than what we are used to in the Philippines. They are definitely more strict when it comes to work hours here and protecting your sleep, your mental health, your work-life balance. That's one of the things I had to learn, like I had to adjust to at first, because when I was still starting, like in my earlier rotations, I would just overstay. I would just do my work in the hospital. Everyone is already out by 5 and I would stay until 7 just so I can finish my charts. And I didn't mind. I didn't care. Like, I thought I'd rather do this here. I don't want to bring my work home and no one's waiting for me at home. Like, really, I can just stay here. I'm okay. But everyone is like, you should go. You should get out of the hospital. Slowly, I'm realizing that it's really, really important to protect your work hours. I'm still learning. I'm still adjusting. I still find myself overstaying. In clerkship and in internship in the Philippines, it's like a mortal sin to endorse additional work to the incoming team. So whatever task that was assigned to you, you have to get it done no matter how long it takes, right? I don't know. I'm still adjusting. I'm still learning. So yeah, if you guys think that we are just chilling here, um, I would say no. It's still difficult. Like, we still go home very tired, like mentally, emotionally, physically exhausted. And that's just part of residency. And the important thing is we are learning, we are still learning. Okay, so moving on, all that work. Now, the next question a lot of you guys had was, meron na din bang sahod? Yes. Do you already get paid? Yes. Is your salary enough to cover living expenses? Yes. Or are you able to save up as well? Yes, yes, yes. I have a very simple lifestyle. I don't shop, I don't eat out, I don't have any luxury items. That's why I'm able to save a lot of my salary. I think that's just my priority right now, that I don't have dependents yet and I'm starting late. I just started earning now, like earning an actual salary now. So since day one, I was super strict with my budget. Plus, the cost of living here in our state is quite low compared to, for example, California or New York. So at least here, I can afford this one-bedroom apartment with garage and the washer and dryer for a fraction of the price. And again, for me at this point in my life, it's more than enough and I get to save money, which is the most important thing. So guys, delaying gratification. Sulit, nakakaipon na ako. And since I started earning money, I've been reading a lot about budgeting, saving, investing, and just financial education. So I feel like I'll be able to do a whole playlist now, like a whole series now about everything I've learned so far. So yeah, it's an exciting topic for me too. So anyway, what perks do you got in your hospital? Perks. So aside from the salary, we did get an iPad. So I use this iPad a lot. Like, I bring it everywhere. I use UpToDate on it. We have an UpToDate subscription as well. UpToDate is a very good online reference for basically the medical management of anything and everything. And if I'm not sure about whatever, I look it up on UpToDate. And then we also get free Starbucks. We get free unlimited Starbucks. It's just that the hours of the Starbucks in our hospital is just, I think, from 7 a.m. to maybe 2 p.m., which is like not enough. I wish Starbucks was like 24 hours too. Next, what's your favorite snack while on duty? We get free food, unlimited, well, not really unlimited, but we have food allowance, which is more than enough every month. So I just grab anything and everything that I feel like I would want to eat. So fave snacks, salad, there's this protein bars, cookies, this juice, water, coffee. Whenever there's a rice meal, of course, that's what I would get. But sometimes there's no rice. Like, I have to eat mashed potatoes like an American. But yeah, that works. At least they make sure that we are well fed or not starving. Is your on-call room comfy? I would say yes. It's a standard on-call room. There's a bed, there's a computer, and then there's a bathroom that you can use. It's quiet. Sometimes it's very cold, but there's like multiple blankets that you can just grab and use. So yeah, we have on-call rooms. It's in the resident lounge. We have a resident lounge as well. So next, did you have a hard time adjusting with your colleagues? I would say yes at first. When I first got here, I was super shy, super awkward. Like, I would just laugh along with everyone, but won't really add to the conversation. I'm like always thinking or overthinking, and I feel like I want to say something, and then, nah, maybe I shouldn't say it, so I just will hold back, which is very not like me. So yeah, it was hard. It was hard to adjust just because I was, one, very introverted. Two, my excuse is there's COVID, there's no need to socialize right now. And three, not really language barrier, but I mean, they understood me, I understood them. But, you know, if they only understood Tagalog, Filipino, I would have been more talkative. I would have been funnier and I would have like expressed my feelings more. So that was at first, like during the first few months of my residency. But now I've started to warm up to my co-residents and we've gone through some tough times together already. So now it's definitely better for me. I feel like I can talk to them. They're super nice, they're super funny, and more, I feel like I will continue to warm up to everyone. And it's really my fault. And I'm really not supposed to be like this. But now that COVID should be over soon, I have to socialize more. That's really my fault, you guys. It's not their fault. Anyway, have you experienced any bullying from the consultants? Do you feel intimidated by your co-residents and consultants there? Absolutely not. That's the one other thing that I had to adjust to. Like, I was so shocked at how approachable everyone is. I have never experienced anyone like making me feel bad, you know. Again, during the start of residency, I would take so long before I would call an attending about, for example, a patient who is getting admitted. Why? Because I feel like I have to go through the whole chart first. I feel like I have to read up on UpToDate first and then come up with a solid plan first before I even call the attending. And that takes a long time. And it turns out here, I mean, it's good to really learn on your own, but you don't have to be that thorough because the attendings are always willing to guide you, like really gauge where you're at knowledge-wise and then just supplement your learning. Ask you questions not to make you feel bad if you don't know them, but really to just gauge where you're at. And then they will tell you the answer if you don't know the answer. So I really like the learning environment here. I really like the culture and I'm lucky. I feel like, I'm not sure if it's the same for all the other programs in the US. I will be surprised if it is. I heard that this program of mine is really special just because the attendings are, this will just be part one. I'll do a part two because I feel like the first few questions are all about the good stuff, the happy stuff about residency here. But of course, there are still challenges. I still had to adjust to a lot of things. I had some bad days, a lot of bad days as well. That's for another vlog. A lot of you are asking about challenges here, how I had to adjust, homesickness, burnout, anxiety, just trying to fit in and all. There are challenges and I'd like to be able to talk to you guys about that in another vlog, just so we can keep this vlog a happy one. And I'll just end with this question. How is Family Med so far? Is it what you expected? Family Med so far, I think this picture perfectly encapsulates how I feel about it. I'm very happy, but also I'm very tired. Like, it's tiring, it's super challenging. Just the brevity of the specialty. They say you should do Family Med if you want to know a little about a lot. At this point, I feel like I have to know a lot about a lot. So maybe because I'm still a trainee and my baseline is really, it's super challenging, I would say. But I look forward to learning some more no matter what it takes, because I can see my attendings, they are happy with their jobs. I can see their impact on their patients. And I have a lot of ideas on how I would want to do my own practice in the future. And overall, I feel like really family medicine is the right decision for me. If you're interested, if you want to know more, then please subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Watch out for my upcoming videos. I've been very busy or just not motivated the past few months to come up with videos, but I'm glad that I'm finally able to sit down now and do one again. This makes me happy. So yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!